Okay, before I get into figure, anything else with bikini? And
I guess the local level versus the national level. Is there a difference in standard local? Are they looking for softer just because of what you're sort of
no, they shouldn't be. No, because at the local level, we're trying to get your physique to move up the ranks. So yeah, and I think that sometimes that's what happens. Sometimes I think sometimes maybe at the local level you get bowled over because somebody looks a little bit better than everybody else, so they might think that you're a little too much for that, you know what I mean, that class. And it does, like I said, and that's why kind of, like I said, I've been trying to do a lot of seminars, around the country and stuff, and we're doing our first national judges seminar next week at nationals, just trying to standardize, you know what I mean. Again, it's not a consistent sport by any, stretch of the imagination, but we're trying, like I said, because some people will come to me. Steve Weinberger and I have this, and I'm not sure if I'm supposed to be saying this on tape, but we always have this, well, it's always, Steve goes for hard, you go for soft, okay? I will swear on my mother's grave, Steve and I did the Tampa together. Just like I said, we passed down our top 5. I'd give Steve my top 5. He'd put down, oh, I have 4 of your 5. Oh. He'd give me his women. You got 5 of my 6. Oh, it's that East Coast, West Coast thing. We did this all over I said to Steve at the Olympia, I said, we need somebody to stand over our shoulder and videotape both of our top 5s or top 6s, whoever we're handing in. We had the same people, maybe -1. Sometimes we'll put them in different orders, but I'm serious. Like I said, it got to be a joke because we kept going, oh, East Coast, West Coast thing, I just said to somebody, from a judging standpoint, I think the best thing from my standpoint as a judge, because no matter, I was a competitor a long time ago, so you still have that competitive thing in you. My thing is, as a judge, I want to pick, and this is what all our judges are doing, you want to pick athletes that the standard is. Again, I can't say, well, I think Angelica's too hard. Well, she can't be. She just won the Olympia. It's not what I like personally as a judge. If we want to change the standards, then we talk about it at our national meeting, and we decide as an organization. And we've done that before. We've put out notices that said we're going to, we think if the figure women are getting, or contenders are getting a little bit too big, you need to come down a little bit. We're never going to do that in the middle of the year. We're going to do it after we talk about it at nationals. Get an opinion, a consensus from everybody, everyone that's there. But yeah, so it's not just what I like personally. It's what what the sport. What the look is. And so I think that's sometimes the hardest thing, because you got to be able to put your personal preferences away and judge. But I judge a lot regional shows up in Sacramento, because that's where my husband promotes. We had 9 people from our One Gov Cup went to the East Coast. I'm not there. I don't do Team U. And got their pro card there. And from a judging standpoint, I'm going, yes, got it. You know what I mean? Because I know the judges that have judged for a long time, you kind of just know what all the other, we know what that look is and what look is going to do good at the next level. And like I said, we might switch those 5 or 6 athletes around a little bit, but we still know that's all of them are up in that top, whether it's Steve or myself. Anything else on bikini? Should we, what, why don't we do this? Why don't we do the posing, Ashley, on bikini? That way, people that want to go chill out for the night before you compete tomorrow. I'm just going to put this here so I don't blind you. Okay. Now, the difference with Ashley was nice enough to volunteer her time for me. So who else is bikini that has a suit? Anybody have a suit with them? Huh? Come on up. Come on up, or come on down. Okay. So now, it's a little bit different in the NPC as opposed to the IFBB. When you get your pro card, you kind of made it to the top of your, your career. So it's, again, you get a little bit more time on stage. At the regional shows, and especially at national shows, if you get 10 seconds, that's going to be a lot. And I tell athletes, just what I said earlier, what our judge is looking for, we're looking for your faults. The longer you stay on stage, the more faults I'm going to find. From an athlete standpoint, seriously, what you want to do, you want to go on, hit your poses. Like Steve says, keep it clean and simple. Hit the pose, hold it, front and back, whatever, whatever division you're in, get off. Because you want, as you're going off, you want the judges to go, ooh, I think I liked what I got to see that athlete again. That's what you want. So, you really want to make it, again, the little transitions are fine. We don't care about them. If you're bikini, we want to see front and back. And obviously, a little bit of sass. I mean, and again, but everybody, Ashley Kaltwasser was never very flamboyant on stage, where somebody like an Amanda Latona was very flamboyant. It only is going to work if you feel comfortable, if it fits your personality. So that's the thing is, because again, if you go to the NPC website, so many pros have videos up there about posing tips and stuff, and which is great, but you want to pick something and kind of work with that you feel comfortable with. Because if you don't, because as an athlete, you want to walk out on stage. When you walk out on stage, again, doesn't matter what division you're in, you should be walking out, say, seriously, like looking at the judges going, I know I look damn good, and I want you to see me. Okay, so, but if you don't feel comfortable with your posing, or you don't feel comfortable with something, you're not going to exude that, that confidence. And you really do, especially, like I said, at the national level when it's so competitive. Okay, so Ashley is, she's going to do a little bit, she'll have a little bit longer time to do her posing, but just kind of do more NPCs. Yeah, short. Again, when you first come out, your individual, that is it's like your bodybuilding. That's your couple seconds to show the judges exactly what you want them to see. And if you see, again, and her erectors are like super tight here, but that's what you want to do, and you want to push back, because again, it'll keep that roundness. If it's not super tight here, bending over is not going to help you. Okay, because seriously, well, no, go ahead, but no, go ahead. But again, you have to remember that we're sitting here. Look at how much wider her glutes look like that than when they're, is this maybe a little bit tighter? Absolutely, I'm not telling you it's not. But the thing is, do you really want to widen out your glutes? Not most women, okay? So, but that's a hard pose to do. And really, that's all you want to do. Because again, it's just that whole, a little bit of hourglass. Sometimes some of the trainers will tell me, like, if you have bigger quads, you want to keep your toes in. If your quads are really thin and you want to show a little bit, you want to display a little bit more fullness to your leg, then you're going to turn your toes out. But that's the kind of stuff, and I know now with the video cameras, I've been learning this all year long, doing all these seminars, everybody, I guess, just puts the phone down on the floor and videotapes themselves. But again, that gives you a better angle of how judges are looking. I don't take a picture, so I'm definitely never videotaping myself, but everybody I talk to, this is what we do. So I'm like, oh, I never thought about that. But that's a good thing, because you have it set down at an angle, and you get a perspective, how you look is going to be closer to the perspective what the judges are actually going to see.
Sandy, do you have a preference as a side pose or front pose? Which one?
You know what? No, I don't. I just, for competitors, like I said, we changed the numbers. They do not have to go on the left side of the suit anymore. But the judges have to see them, and that's the hardest thing. Bikini, you put them way down here, and then you lean. And I will tell you, I can't even tell you how many times I will say to athletes, just angle the opposite way. Because you remember, sometimes we have 9 and 11 judges. So you have judges way out in the wings, and you're facing this way. And I will say, athletes, everybody just angle the opposite way. And I'm serious. I get people, they can't pick up this foot and go this way. They just can't, because they're so used. But I find and again, I tell Bikini all the time too, if we ask you to face forward, and I say, actually, I'll say, I just want to see the numbers. We're not judging you. Just face forward, because sometimes the judges can't, and the judges will get frustrated, and they're going to put you in the last in that group because they can't see your number clear up there. If you put it out, I've been finding, if you put it out more on the connector, if the connector will hold it, then when you're down like this is still out here. We've seen a couple now at the USA, at a couple of North American that were a little bit out more on the connector, and so it's just something to to play with. And then again, you can practice with your suit on and have somebody stand out there and just can I see from here? Can I see from here? Can I see from here? Because it makes you frustrated, it makes my judges frustrated, and it's Bikini. It's just Bikini. Nobody else has as much problem with the numbers as Bikini does. But it's just because they're low on your suit, and then you're facing down. Any tips for? You got it? I'm turning mine off. Go ahead.
Are we here? All right. So tips on posing?
Yes.
All right. So main thing, adrenaline's going to be there. We're going to be rushing. You're going to be excited. So slow down and take your time. Number one thing the judges are trying to do is judge your stances. And if you're moving a lot, flinching here, moving quickly, hold your stances. Have a lot of my posing clients, we count, hold your poses for 3 to 4 seconds or so. So that way you hold your front stance, all the judges can look at you, no one's missing you. Make that transition nice and smooth. Hold that back pose for a few seconds as well. Everyone can judge you, everything's there. Turn it back, hold it again. So slow down, take your time, all right? Also, just make sure you smile. Look like you're having fun, look like you're enjoying yourself. Also, there's a lot of confusion as, do I look at the audience, do I look at the judges? Make eye contact with the people that are judging you. So make sure you're not looking out here. I made that mistake at one of my first shows, and I looked like I was lost on stage because I was looking out here instead of making that eye contact. So make that eye contact with the head judge. Make sure you're, acknowledging the judges, letting them know that you're confident, because that's going to exude that confidence when you can make that eye contact. But those are my main things. Just make sure that you're slowing down, and of course, that number. When Sandy says, "Hey, angle up a little bit," they're not asking you to just stand like this. You can still be in your front pose and just angle up your waist a little bit, still holding that stance so you're not losing that tightness in your waist or your glutes or anything that you're trying to showcase. So those are just my main things. Smile, exude some confidence, slow down, take your time, and just have fun up there. You put all this hard work into showing off this awesome physique, whatever your goal was, whatever your goal is tomorrow. If you're doing it for you, your kids, just your first show, it's you're trying to get nationally qualified, whatever it is, soak in the moment and enjoy it, because you deserve it. So take your time and smile, acknowledge those judges, and slow down. But that's all I gotta say. Thank you.
Oh, that's okay. Thank you. Okay, so now, I'm sorry, what's your first name?
Naomi.
Naomi. Okay, nice to meet you. Why don't you put your stuff down there? Do you have your suit on?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Let's practice. Oh, it's your first show.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh, well, good. You have maybe 55 people going to critique you, hon. Don't worry about it.
No big deal. Would you like heels? I got some too.
Yeah, if you want to get your heels, absolutely. Okay, so you're going to practice just how you're going to walk out tomorrow and doing your front and your back. Okay? Okay, right. While they're getting her heels, though, some of the things that I get asked about all the time is about the suits, okay? You do not need a new suit for every show. I swear to God, okay? You want to get a suit that the cut is the most important. You want to get a suit that the cut fits your physique, okay? And I just say, again, this is general, okay? I just find that the darker the colors are, so if you're going to use a yellow, go with the darker yellow. If you're going to use a blue, go with the dark, because it gives you more contrast between your skin tone and your suit. And again, when there's 40-some athletes out on stage and you all look awesome, you want something that's going to make you stand out, okay? I know the suits have gotten tremendously expensive, and I just happened to see a suit a couple weeks ago at a show that I thought was probably the most beautiful suit I've ever seen, and I put her in my 4th call out, okay? The suit is not going to make your physique. The cut could hurt your physique, but how many rhinestones, John, you have on that suit is not going to hurt your physique. I swear. So unless a judge says to you, you know what I mean? Because again, if you're, remember we said about shape and balance. So if you're really long-waisted, you don't, even for bikini, you don't want to wear it super low because it makes you just look longer-waisted, okay? So unless somebody tells you the cut is wrong, I would wear that suit till your body changes or it falls off. Okay. Okay, so now how are you going to walk out? Everybody usually does the front pose. It's always this back pose that I'm looking at. Okay, and you can actually push back a little bit more. Yep, that's kind of where you want to be. Okay, and that's going to take time. But again, it tightens up her hamstring, but it leaves the fullness of the glutes, and it doesn't widen the glutes. And again, it's not so much here, but it's because of the angle of where judges are. That's what makes the biggest difference. Okay. And basically, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for this front pose, okay, and the back pose. The little transition is fine in between, but don't waste your time on that. You want to get that front pose, back to the front, because somebody's going to be coming right behind you. Okay. Thank you. Good luck tomorrow. Thank you. Okay, so anything on bikini. Another thing that sometimes comes up and nobody wants, they'll ask me after the seminar, do I need implants to compete? Seriously, no. Okay, the more I do this now, I have trainers coming up, and because I just did one, when I did the one in San Antonio a couple months ago, I had 3 trainers say to me, Sandy, I had the 3 different trainers, they both had, all 3 of them each had a girl that got their pro card at either USA or Team U, as flat as a pancake, okay? With the suits these days, you can make your chest look a little bit fuller. We don't, like in the old days, it was like you couldn't have padding, you couldn't, we've gotten away from that. I have, as a judge, seriously, and I have implants, so I don't have anything against them. I just don't want people having surgery thinking it's going to make them better. Because for women, what's really hard is, remember again, that whole shape and balancing, especially as you move up the ranks and you get to figure and you get to women's physique. We're looking for that over. Most women do not have upper chest muscle. You put the implants in, and we all have a tendency to go too big, and it makes you look real empty up here, and it really distorts your physique. Again, I can honestly say I have marked women down for implants that have been too big for their physiques, especially when they're in competition, and I have never marked somebody down because they did not have them. So again, if you're going to get them for yourself, absolutely. I hear women have asked me that numerous times, or have told me they went and got them thinking that it was going to make them, their physique better on stage, and it did not. So, okay, when we get done with figure and women's physique, we are going to talk a little bit about hair and makeup and tanning, and since that is not my expertise at all, I have some people that are willing to help me a little bit.